Hey guys, it's Steven with the Bytes chart update. I went ahead and created next week's pivot chart. I used the low of 81 here, and I used the high of 97 here. And I assumed we're going to close out tomorrow around $95. When you plug that into the chart, these are the supports that I came up with. Now, if we close, let's just say at 92, you can see it just changes slightly, and we can definitely make that adjustment if we feel fit. But it's still giving us this $90 central pivot. So I will be looking for that test again, and we will see what happens. On to the Ethereum to Bytes chart. Just a really beautiful chart. It's obvious accumulation against Ethereum, and it's obvious accumulation up into the tournament that's coming up. Alex Becker did say we're changing the date from the 8th to the 15th. So as a liquidity provider, it gives us more chance to gain fees. So I just want to point out, we did start underneath the central pivot for this week, and we just accumulated, and we found resistance at the R1 at 230 here. And then we actually ended up finding support there as well. And then we went ahead and test the top of the range, the R2 at 260 here. And that was kind of surprising. I didn't think we'd get all the way up to there, but it's definitely great to see. It's obvious demand for the token. So we like to see that. My liquidity pool here that I started yesterday afternoon around here ended up accumulating over the last day about $600 here. It's a very aggressive range here, but this is where I feel comfortable accumulating. And as I've stated before, I would buy the dip in this range here from 21 to 22 if possible. I do have funds for that as well. And that's basically it. You want to be happy no matter what happens. You want to have a plan, and you want to be able to sleep at night so that if the price goes up or down, you're happy either way. So definitely always look for that happy medium there. And for next week's pivot chart on the Ethereum ratio here, as I showed on these numbers here, I used 260 as a high, 200 as a low, and I assumed we close at about 250 here, maybe just under here. And these are the numbers I got here. So it would be nice to have this support again, but it seems like there's a pretty high demand, and we've got a very strong uptrend here on the daily momentum chart. This was definitely just all an accumulation under $90 here, and we're finally breaking above zero. So that gives us a lot of upside. This momentum, like 1, 2s, even 3s are pretty low. These things can go much higher, these momentum charts. So we'll see what happens exactly with Bytes and how they play into this tournament. We still don't have that information yet, but I would be shocked if we did not have some sort of use case for the Bytes, some burn event. So keep an eye out for that. I also wanted to talk about my theory as to why the price of Bytes goes up when Ethereum goes down. And my whole guess at this is as good as anybody else's, but people are just accumulating Bytes. They're looking at the dollar range here, like 94, 90, 80. And as the price of Ethereum goes down, the value of Bytes, if it just stays steady, the ratio goes up. So I think that's what we saw there. We saw the value of Ethereum go down in this range here, and we still saw a high demand for Bytes. And that's kind of a self fulfilling loop there, where okay, this Bytes token is a better, holding its value better versus Ethereum, and then you kind of have this extra run up here where there's obvious demand for the token. And then the same would be true if the price of Ethereum goes down. The way I look at it, I'm sorry, if the price of Ethereum goes up, the price of Ethereum goes up, Bytes has a pretty unique benefit, which is that the entire liquidity pool is based in Ethereum. So if the price of Ethereum goes up, it's equal to Bytes, even with no volume at all. So the value in US dollars will continue to go up as the price of Ethereum goes up. So, and that leads into the reason why, as the price of Ethereum goes up, the USD value goes up, but it also gives it a more attractive sell point. If you see the price of Bytes go up a lot, even with the ratio and the price of Ethereum, it'll be more attractive for people to sell that. And then that's when you can start to see a lower Ethereum ratio. So that's just my theory. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions about that. And on to next week. I'm really happy with this chart here because I feel like this would be perfect if I can just accumulate here. And I do have pretty lofty goals for Bytes token. I'm hoping at least above 130 over the next couple weeks here. So a 30 to 40% gain over the next couple weeks would be great. And that's what I'm looking for. And I definitely want to have allocation to Bytes more than I have now. I would say I'm over leveraged in Ethereum now. So that's what I'm hoping for. Another great day in volume. I want to just keep it at 1 million on average, and we'll see what happens after the event. But if we can just keep this range for the next couple weeks, that would be great to see. We got a nice uptick on the season 1 citizen floor. We did have a new season 4 get put on the market here. And to me, this is really interesting. You know, who has $300,000 in Bytes just ready to buy this floor? I mean, that's obviously somebody would really want to get into this collection here. So I'm curious to see where exactly this number 2053 goes over the next couple weeks. We'll see if it gets bought, if it gets taken off the market. I do want to keep an eye on that. Land floor doing just fine. We got a few new ones, I think, added here. No big deal. I think those will get bought up. Outer identities up very nicely. We were under 30,000 for a while last week, and here we are at 33.6. So that's great. Got a nice uptick in holders here, and we've got an increase of supply here, about 6,785. And this is exactly what I thought would happen over the weekend when it's cheap to claim your Bytes. Why not do it? I guess we saw the same thing as last Sunday here, people claiming more Bytes. And as the more Bytes are claimed, the market cap will go up because there's more tokens, obviously. So we saw an increase not only in the price, but in the amount of tokens being added to the supply. And just for my positions here, it's actually pretty decent pull there. I'm happy with that. And really obviously my goal is just to have my gas fees paid for. I had to close this after 2 days. It was just too low. It was too aggressive. And I wanted to actually buy this range instead of supply. So in order to do that, I need to have my ranges higher. And so I got out of there. I got my gas fees back, and that's really all you can ask for. It's such a hassle with having to pay such high gas fees. And to do that, I'm definitely happy with that. And hopefully I can start making some better money this week. Something similar last week would be great. We'll see what happens. And I also wanted to point out, I've had this range open here for a while from 2528 to 2844, and it finally reached there. And we saw some nice resistance. So this is the bottom of my range, and the top of the range is 282 here. So we had a nice peak above, and then we hit the resistance and went below. So that's just what I'm doing. I'm just going to distribute here at this 95 to 105 range or whatever it may be as the ratio goes up and the price of Ethereum changes. We'll definitely see what happens, but I'm happy to get this range here, and yeah, that's basically it. So just real quick to finish up, this 46,500 range that I was talking about, doing really well. Definitely glad to see that, and we're actually starting to see momentum start to tick up here. So we don't have the bullish divergence like we do have on the Ethereum chart. We're getting pretty close to the bottom of this this range here to make that bullish divergence chart, but if not, it's not that big of a deal. It's just a indicator. We'll definitely hope that we hold this range though, and that would be perfect for the rest of the crypto market. So, all right, guys, any questions, let me know, and I'll catch you next time.